Hello everyone, this is White Wolf, and I wanted to do this quick live just talking about not sacrificing your alignment and not sacrificing your state of being, and knowing that the world doesn't dictate who you are, but you dictate who you are and how you feel, and not reacting to others and not always allowing others' energies to throw you off, and also just staying on the path and just allowing yourself to always know that you don't have to sacrifice your alignment here and now, and that you were designed in the image of the I Am Presence to be grand, to be big, to be anointed, to be empowered and powerful, to allow yourself to tap into the resonance, the codes, the downloads, the anointing, and also to know that you don't have to sacrifice the way that you live. If you want an abundant life, you have to choose for an abundant life. You have to attract abundant life to yourself. And also just know that life can be magical if you allow it to be. If you allow life to be magical, you can have so much allowance to receive, allowance to expand upon the present now, but also the allowance to let go so that more can come in. And as you subtract, as you add in, as you implement, and as you expand upon the present moment here and now, you will see how the world will fall at your feet. You'll see how the world will revolve around your energy. And when we don't sacrifice our alignment, what we're doing is that we're staying consecrated within our faith, we're staying grounded within our authority, and we're also staying grounded at a level of maturity. So when we elevate the energy, when we allow ourselves to generate from a standpoint of abundance, and we allow ourselves to always be in a constant state of reception, and if we're in a constant state of awareness, a constant state of reception, but also in a constant state where we're just aware that we're alive and we're here and we're now and we're present, that means that we're tapping into true power and we're tapping into true resonance, because we're following the flow of energy, we're following our intuitive nature, and we're also just kind of slowing down and knowing where to fire the trigger, and also the decisions and the actions that we're attracting to ourselves. So we're already attracting the situations that we've already experienced. So that means that you've never experienced anything, you've never learned anything new, you're just remembering everything that you forgot. And what I mean by don't sacrifice your alignment for people, places, or things. Society does not dictate who you are. It is only by the power that you channel and how you implement and how you dedicate yourself and how you allow that energy to be so strong that nobody wants to mess with it. And you know that the absolute truth is who you are right at this moment. The absolute truth, the absolute anointing, the absolute grace is you right now. So if you know who you are at this exact moment, and you know that there's things that you need to do, but you've been putting off for so long, and then you started to do them, and you started to see the spontaneous combustions of different sets of manifestations happen, and then it sends off the signal of awareness to your universal receptor, and you get connected to the frequencies of the quantum. You start resonating with that absolute reality, the reality beyond sight, sound, and vibration. This means that you're becoming the light of awareness, and you are the reason for appearances in this earth plane. So if you're the reason why everything is being generated, created, manifested, also attracted to yourself, then that means that you're the creator of your life, but also you're the oracle that is channeling from its guides, from its higher self. And also you're just channeling off of the energies that are present, but also you're finding out where your energetic signature is and how to use it in the way that you manifest. A lot of people have different manifestation techniques, but not everybody is going to manifest what you want to manifest. That's why it's your own desire. That's why it's by your own design. That's why you're the author of your life and you're the architect of your life, and you structure your life in a certain way more than other people. So the way you want to express yourself, the way you want to vocalize who you are, and you can present it in a certain context that makes sense to you. You can study your own teachings. You can study your own ways that you perceive and see how that works for you. but also being able to relay that to another person and it makes sense. That is how we share, that is how we gift, and that is how we use our gifting as the gift that gives on more love and light and awareness and abundance. But we're not in a rush and we're not in a race, and we don't have to feel like we have to cram it all in one day. That means that you start over again once you awaken. So you're starting over again, you're starting from ground zero, you're starting from 0 point creation, and then you're the light of awareness that appears into everything. So we have to debunk the false projections, we have to debunk the mind, which is the ego, which is the put down artist, which is the narcissist, which is the false empath that takes on everybody's baggage. And if we can debunk that, then we allow ourselves to be in our own force field of energy. And if we can allow ourselves to resonate from that force field of energy, we can allow ourselves to repel energy and to combat the energy, but also allow people to be protected. So we are guardians of the galaxy. We are earth protectors. We are grid workers because we're here trying to bring love to this planet and trying to save the planet from toxic nature, from toxic fluids, from toxicity itself. And sometimes it's not just about the food that you eat, but it's also about what you're vocalizing, what you're sending out, also what you're projecting. And it's not feeling just one sensation or one emotion, but it's feeling the sensations of God no matter what it is. And even if it's anger, you have to love that anger and forgive that anger to let go of the anger. Or restriction, or lying to yourself, or feeling like there has to be overconfidence to substantiate your position. And then we see that is a lie. That is a lie in and of itself, because that's not allowing us to grow and expand with who we are right now, here and present. If we were powerful, if we were the channel of wisdom, if we were the channel of maturity, we wouldn't have to act like that power. It would just radiate presently. It would radiate here and now, and it would just be what it is. It would be your channel. So not sacrificing your alignment means that you're going to live within the Spirit, live in the scope of the Spirit, and live by the ways of the Spirit, the tongue of the Spirit, the love, the way, and the light of the oracle of love, light, and wisdom. So when you live this life and you live by those parameters, that means that anything that goes against that is absolutely not in flow. So it has to allow you to know that is a big no-no. That's like, nope, that's not my energy. That's not my vibration. That is not who I am. That is not allowing me to grow and expand. That's actually enabling other distortions. That's me enabling false vibrations and false projections and false perceptions. So that's not allowing me to be non-dual and be independent with my own energy. So it's not allowing you to align to your energy and your own source of creation. You can't align to another person's energy and be that person, because then you're living a lie and you're giving your power away to that person and you're losing yourself. But if you can develop that power, you can be your own supernatural power. And everything in your life can be very supernaturally organic. If it's supernaturally organic, you have no need to panic. And a lot of the things that I'm saying are very corny. And I'm doing that intentionally because it's simple, it's precise, and you get it. And you're able to put it in a formulation of energy. There's a divine formula and a blueprint that you can follow and just kind of get it. And you can use it as a way of studying meditation, but also as a way of just meditating. So if we're meditating, if we're projecting, if we're creating within that meditative state, and if we're just allowing for our reception, then that means we are the Akashic record, and we're just channeling that Akashic record within this earth plane. That's what your Akashic record is symbolizing. That is your spiritual origin. That is where you come from. That's where you originate from. So all of the wisdom of your Akashic record that keeps all of the track record of your life, but also your past lifetimes, but also your guides are there and your loved ones on the other side. And you're supposed to channel from that standpoint of that absolute reality and put it inside of this reality. So the absolute reality is where you reach the highest density of consciousness and you are able to snap something and it be there. And it's right there and it's created. But who created it? Who thought of it? What was the idea? What was the energy behind that projection and that creation and that molding of that vibration before it was even present? It was your consciousness. So we see God's source energy as energy. We see God as consciousness. And we see God in the image that we were created as. So if we see God in that lens, then we are really seeing inseparability. We're seeing ourselves as inseparable because there is no guilt or judgment or condemnation or distortion. It's still an illusion, but it's not an illusion that's coming from a terrible source. So that is where you tap into the source fields of energy. It lies between the absolute reality and the quantum realm. But there's many different source fields, but you're supposed to see yourself as an electromagnetic kinetic force field of energy. That you're channeling from the quantum, from the absolute reality, but also from the angelic realms and the other dimensions to implement it inside of this dimension. So that means that you're channeling from many different sources. So it's kind of like you're a reporter and you have multiple sources, right? You know how people have articles and they have to get evidence and examples. And if you're a scientist, you have to do a lot of experiments, which means you have to have an observation and a hypothesis and a theory to go upon what you're discovering. So meditation's a lot like that. You have to be on the journey of self-discovery and self-empowerment and self-healing so that you realize that you're experimenting with yourself as the scientific instrument. And I had no idea that I was going to say this on this live because I channel all my messages from my higher self. And I had a productive day. I did not have a lot of sleep last night. I did readings for like 2 hours and then I woke up and then my girlfriend's like, we have a house showing. Then we had to get the medicine for the pets. And then we had to go to the U-Haul store. And then we had to go to Publix. And then we came back. And then now I have a client in 30 minutes. So there was something about today, even though in the beginning part of the day I was really tired. But now I'm back in my center. I'm back alive. I'm back in the circuitry. So you can see within your life, it's like every time that you're doing something in increments to accomplish something. So it's like you're finishing this off, you're paying that off, you're selling your car, you're selling your house, you're talking to your best friend that you haven't talked to in a while and he's having money problems and you're helping him with that. And it's just kind of allowing everything for all the decks to be cleared so that you're clearing out so that you're channeling from multiple different sources of energy. And you're just allowing that energy to be of your own source and of your own origination so that there is a sense of rejuvenation within your vibration. Because if there's no rejuvenation, then there's no recalibration and there's no getting back into alignment. So there has to be multiple sources and they have to be genuine sources. So I know I'm putting that in the analogy of like a person who is a journalist, but it's kind of like that. It's kind of like when we're channeling energy. If we're channeling Archangel Michael, we have to know that it's Archangel Michael, which I've channeled Archangel Michael. If Jesus is speaking to us, we have to know that it's Jesus. That's why we have psychic insight and psychic abilities and authority to allow things to be revealed to us and not just look at the smoke and mirrors. So we're not really looking at the smoke and mirrors of everything, but we're developing that sense of perception and alignment and free will, and not sacrificing our alignment. So if you've never been on the feed, thank you guys so much for 1,000 likes. This is White Wolf. This is a spirituality channel. I do psychic readings and healings for people. So if you'd like to book a private session, I do 1-hour sessions for $70, 30 minutes for $40, and also $60 for a healing and activation session and $50 for a psychic class. And also we're going to do a meditation real quick before I have my client. So if you want to take part in this meditation, feel free to do so. And when we're meditating, I want you to focus on not sacrificing your alignment, but also just bringing the new intention in, and also just doing a lot of different activities and actions that will allow you to tap into that parallel reality within yourself. So everybody take a deep breath and allow yourself to be whole once again, and feel the power very strongly within yourself. We're going to tap into the Kundalini energy. And we're going to find ways to be grounded in our vibration. That we always psychically protect ourselves. And that we're always clearing the energy to tap into the new phase of our lives, the new realities, the new experiences, the new manifestations, but also the new ways to be prosperous, and the new ways that we can generate from multiple sources of energy, from the quantum, the absolute reality, the different dimensions, but also the different archetypes of energy with our archangels, extraterrestrials, fairies, dragons. And we can also channel those energies to implement within this earth plane. And developing the psychic insight, developing this awareness, this constant state of reception, and also allowance to not sacrifice our alignment. Because sacrificing your alignment is telling the divine no. It's telling your state of being no. It's allowing others' energy to infiltrate. It's allowing society to dictate who you are, but it's also trying to throw you off your game and not tap into your authority, and that's not what you want. But what you want is a true, pure state of bliss, a genuine source of energy, but also an embodying of free will. The willingness to be able to do what you want in your life. The willingness to be happy. The choice to not sacrifice your alignment. To be so immersed within your alignment that it often makes you seem overconfident. It makes you seem like you're too loving of a person, too unconditional, has too much compassion, that you have way too much truth, and that you absolutely keep it 100 all the time with everybody, because you don't tell people what they want to hear, you tell people what they need to hear. That's how you become a very loving being, because you're allowing yourself to tap into truth. You're allowing yourself to be truthful to your vibration. And you're allowing yourself to love even deeper, so that you can receive, and that you can rejuvenate your energy whenever you need to. You can call your energy back. Rejuvenation is just another way to say that I'm leveling up, that I'm an endless supply, that I am a cup that runs over, and I do not hesitate that you don't hesitate to tap in, that you never hesitate for that aligned action, and that you can absolutely turn mountains into molehills if you need to. And it's really just channeling from your heart. It's really just opening yourself up for that resonance, for that truth, and alleviating all of the other BS that tries to come in. When you just kind of get through the day and you do the things that you maybe don't want to do, but you do them anyway, that's clearing the decks. That's making sure everything's in place. And that's making sure that you needed to meet that person at the supermarket, that you bumped into a business meeting somehow and you met a person and you invested a lot of money in real estate. Or you called your mom and you forgave her about something that you did years ago. There's always something in our lives that allow us to change something or alter something within our own scope of reality. Our scope inside of ourselves, the state of being, but also just a change in the world, demonstrating that master intuitive that wants to shine from you. And it's just allow everything to shine from that representation of that vision. Just allow yourself to love others. Allow yourself to demonstrate that you are your own teacher. And sometimes we can be our own worst enemy. That's why I talk about not sacrificing your alignment, because that's not feeding the black wolf, but that's feeding the white wolf. So there was a tale, I think it was an Indian story, where the white wolf would make great decisions, would follow their alignment, would make good choices and be kind to people, but the other wolf would tap into distorted ways of being, negativity, lack, doing things to get food in a very heinous way. So it's about which wolf you feed. It's about which spirit you feed. So it's really simulating, like, do you want to experience heaven or do you want to experience hell? So that's the distinction between those two things. And so it is. So with that meditation, I hope that it simulated something for you that allowed you to see which spirit to use and which spirit to tap into. It's all changing our attitude sometimes. And sometimes it's just shifting the mood or shifting how you use your emotional guidance system, or allowing yourself to completely change the way that you feel here and now. And sometimes it's just allowing yourself to stop everything for a moment. Just stop the world, stop talking, stop thinking, and just drop into your spirit. If you just drop into your spirit, it makes everything feel better. So Ice Cube had the right idea. There's a couple songs that I reference, like if you're a hip hop fan and you don't like Check Yourself or Wreck Yourself by Ice Cube, you don't know what you're missing. But yeah, we have to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. Dr. Dre, I got my mind on my money and my money on my mind. And Tim McGraw, I like it, I love it, I want some more of it. And I know those are song references, but they're very much affirmations that you can use. So like when I listen to rap music and like other genres now, because of the spiritual awakening, I'm able to like see how they formulate it, the emotion, the passion, and also the way that they formulate their lyrics and where it's coming from, in a way that I think I did before, but I see past certain things. But it's like taking everything out of your life and implementing it in a very divine way will always allow you to see from a different perspective. It'll always allow you to see from that standpoint that you can change your life in an instant by changing and shifting your perspective and changing the way that you feel. So, yeah. Well, I think I'm pretty good, but just let you guys know that if you see me online later, I do reading, sealings, activations. The only thing you have to do is like, share, and gift. So if you see me later, I saw one person gifted. So if you see me later around, I think 10 or 11, depending on, because sometimes it's better to start earlier and let the time go a little bit. So it depends on what the time is, but 11 Eastern, I'll be going live doing psychic reading, sealings, activations. The only thing you have to do is like, share, and gift. I have private sessions you can book, 30 minutes for $40, an hour for $70, an hour for $60 for healings, activations, codes, downloads, and also $50 for a psychic class that you can take part in, where I talk about nature, law of subtraction, attraction, also tapping into the absolute reality, and a whole lot of other stuff. But I want to thank you guys. I have a client that I'm supposed to attend to, so I'm going to get off of this live, but I want to thank you guys so much for being a part of this. Thank you so much for just receiving, and thank you for 2,000 likes. And I'm so blessed to do this, and you guys make it possible. So thank you guys so much. God bless, and namaste.